following preview has been rated good by the Good, the Bad, and the Weird podcast. Please check out the full episode when it releases on Wednesday. This winter, toys come to life, and not by some magic cabinet or super secret military microchips, but through the power of 1995's hyper-realistic CGI and the first ever fully computer-animated feature film, Toy Story. I'm Nico.
And I'm Chris.
So we're doing Toy Story for our animated film for the start of the year.
Heck yeah, time for some Pixar.
Something that we've kind of toed around quite a bit.
Most of I think our only other Pixar touchings have not been like fully Pixar films. Well,
Brave.
But Brave was very heavily both Disney and Pixar. They both companies wanted to have a heavy hand in it, whereas this Pixar's first big one.
Yeah, the one that really started it all and set the milestone for what CGI could do, like for a fully animated. I mean, hell,
for sure.
Like, not a little over a decade later, we had Beowulf, which
that is true.
Rough by today's standards, but was awesome for when it came out.
It was very impressive when it came out, and also this also helps set the tone that was going to be the Pixar full-length movies. Mm-hmm. They've been doing shorts, but this essentially started the running joke of Pixar of, is it an inanimate thing? Make it have people feelings.
What if emotions had emotions?
But honestly, we're getting a second one of those.
Which, honestly, we didn't really talk about in this episode, but the way Pixar has gone and been selective of their sequels,
yeah,
I can see why Inside Out is the next one to do it, is because it's a young girl going through emotions.
It's the next Toy Story, let's be real. But honestly, that has worked really well for them, and it is something that is so interesting to see how well they handle this very nice balance between a retrospective adult who has the ability to think more deeply about these interactions between the toys, between Sid and who Sid actually is, and also keeping it simple enough for a kid to be able to say, oh, Sid's the bad guy.
Yeah.
Buzz and Woody are the good guys, and I hope they work it out.
And to go back as an adult and realize that Sid isn't really a quote-unquote bad guy. He's just a wild teenager or preteen.
He's a preteen who's really into rock and roll. Or maybe punk, we're not sure.
Bad metal and sci-fi movies.
Definitely sci-fi movies, 100%.
Oh yeah. Well, and on top of that, we talk about the humans are bad, but for the first movie to do anything of this scale, it is still impressive to go back and see how well done it is, not just in the CGI itself, because we do see it get much, much better in the 20 or so years afterwards.
Sure.
But just, it shows the care in the craft that the creators took in making the story flushed out, giving the world a history that doesn't have to be said, but we can infer and make some assumptions about where things are at that point.
And also, as we have said multiple times, when nerds truly nerd out on a movie, it's almost always going to have a good time. Mm-hmm. And the amount of references that they purposefully put into either Indiana Jones scenes, or Star Wars, or Jaws.
The hooker that we forgot to mention.
Oh yeah, there's so many things that they purposefully added in, not as bits to entertain the audience, but as bits to entertain themselves.
Yeah, that
goes a long way, because honestly, most of those jabs have gone missed by, I think, most people, unless you're sitting here like us and listening to the commentary. Mm-hmm. But it doesn't matter, because you can feel how much fun everyone had, how much personality people brought to the table. And it's also really good to see that not just the main two guys cast for the voice acting really put a lot of time and effort into creating these characters. It seems like just about everyone who came in to do their voice acting really did put a lot of effort into creating a full-rounded character. Yeah.
No, everything works out very cleanly. And honestly, our complaints, I'd say, are relatively superficial.
They really are.
Really dumb stuff of, their jail system or their mob mentality.
Yeah, do the toys die? But honestly, those are questions that aren't necessary for this movie in any way. And the few little quips that I have about, the lighting at this scene isn't very good, or the CGI here is a little rough. Yes, that's true, but at no point is it ever movie breaking.
No, it's not like watching the Lord of the Rings animated movies, where you have just basically painted over live action people, and not even painted over, just like
lightly traced.
No, not even lightly traced. The ones where they just have like a gel over it.
Oh yeah, where they just have like a film.
Yeah, Return of the King.
Oh, that one was rough. But yeah, this one, like, my complaints are minimal. Yes, the CGI has aged a lot, but that is to be expected for a first. And honestly, we're gonna see that again and again, no matter how you look at it. And for something to have aged this much, and for me to still full-heartedly say that people, if you haven't even seen it, or if you haven't seen it recently, to go watch it, that's impressive. Because normally I put if you are this person, but no, it doesn't matter. Everybody.
It's like going back and watching the first American Godzilla movie, where it has aged, but going back, the composite shots are actually quite good.
Yes.
And that's exactly what I feel about Toy Story. Is there's just so much work and effort that went into it, that even if you don't like it, or if it's not your cup of tea, you can still admire it for what it is.
Oh, 100%. And you can definitely see all of the influence it has had in the years that have come after. Amount of use of CGI has improved dramatically. The, proof that it is a usable thing and it will make, people will go and see your movie, even if it all is like this, really helped open the doors to a lot of movies that otherwise wouldn't have been made.
Yeah, no, exactly. And it's made me excited to go back down this rabbit hole of this trilogy. I kind of wish we had scheduled 4 just to get it over with, but
we're gonna do the trilogy, and no, we're not including Buzz.
No, we're doing Lightyear as a short.
We are doing as a short.
Yeah, we're not
where it belongs.
Exactly. But I'm looking forward to it.
And me too. This is a fun series, and it is a series that is renowned for the growth and respect of its audience. And it is really nice to see, how well, the first one was. Because a lot of the times the first one is good, but it's not necessarily, a backbone piece.
Yeah.
Especially for something that is meant to age with its audience. This one, solid piece, honestly.
Backbone of a studio.
For sure. This is a really great starter piece, and I am so impressed with how the other 3 have gone. I am stoked to get to talk about the other 2 next.
Exactly. So, but anywho, this has been the Good, the Bad, and the Weird previews.
Go check out the full episode.
Peace.